Alright guys, we're going to do a carb on this Honda Rancher. Pretty sure it's a 350 or 450. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull off this side panel. As you can see, the carb is right there. The air box is going to have to come off. Probably a good idea to replace the air filter when you're in there too. And you have all your fuel lines. There's a heater underneath here. I don't know if you can see it, but it's right under there. And then there's you know, your choke lines. So I got this little tool. It came in the mail with a pack of these clips, and it makes these clips super easy to take off. And you just get in here rather than wrecking them with a screwdriver. This guy gets around them, and then you can just pick them up, and then they come out, and then get under the second one, and then pull them right up. So there's 1, 2. That's a 10 millimeter, 4, 5, and 6 little push pins, and the top of this thing just pulls off like that. So then I don't really think that helped us a whole lot, but now we got a little better access to the carb. Next up is going to take off this air box, and first things first, we're going to undo that Phillips head hose clamp. So I figured I had to take off this side plastic, which had all the same clips. 2 Phillips heads right there had to come off, and there was this guy had to come off too, so no big deal. And then you're able to massage this tube out from the air box. So, throwing it. So I pulled it up and out, and these 2 lines came off. Just slid right from out and under there. So now I get the air box out. There's a little tube on the bottom of it that you could just pull out. Pretty sure it's like a trans breather. So now you got pretty good access. Alright, so I went ahead and got all these vacuum lines off. This is the main fuel line, and it goes right back up there to that petcock, right, the fuel shutoff. And I'm noticing another problem with this ATV. You don't see any fuel leaking, do you? It's weird. So leads me to believe something in the petcock is broken. It probably is going to need a petcock. So from there, to get the rest of the carb out, I just gave this thing a little pry away after I took that clamp off on the bottom there. And then this connector right here is the one that goes to the heated carb. So it comes up under here, and you gotta open up that clip. Oh, you can't really see that, I'm sorry. You gotta open up. Let me get the slide out of the way. You gotta open up that clip inside there, the electrical tie down right in there. And then from here, now that it's out, I can show you, you gotta take off this cover, and then underneath is gonna be your throttle cable, and on the other side that's gonna be your... So this choke side, it's a little pintle. Where'd it go? It fell right under here, but this guy just threads right out. There's a little needle in there, and there's a seat inside there, obviously. And then if you go to the other side, you pop off that cover and it slides up out. But this is how the throttle cable goes in. You rotate that around, and then you pull this cable up and out. And let me see if I can do this with one hand. And see how it's starting to come out, and now you got the throttle cable free. So some carburetors you can lose this ball, so I would watch out. And then you just unthread that. So it's all back in. Tighten up that clamp. Little tip: if you're having a hard time sliding the carb back into the boot, just spray it with a little brake clean, PB Blast, or carb clean, anything. It'll get you right in there. You know, put in this gas line, reconnected all the breathers, and throttle cable. This machine probably needs a fuel petcock, because I still can't get fuel at this line. Obviously, gas in the tank. Probably gonna have to pull the tank for that, so might make another video on that. But so you won't hear it running today, because it does need that petcock. So.